Let's talk to Lydia Venn. She's a staff reporter from the student news site The Tab. Good evening, Lydia.
Hello.
What do you think about influencers? There's a guy called James Locke. He's from Towie, from The Only Way is Essex. He was out there in Dubai. He's been very upset by what Priti Patel said. He said that she's whipping up hatred against influencers. That may or may not be the case, but I do think there is quite a lot of hatred towards them right now. What's your feeling?
I think we've been seeing a lot from our viewers and readers that, yeah, people are switching off from influencers. We ran a poll and asked our students, and over 85% of them said that they'd unfollowed influencers.
That's
But I
interesting.
think, yeah, it was really interesting. And we spoke to a number of people about their reasons for it. And it wasn't just for Dubai, it
Mm.
was for people pushing an unsustainable lifestyle, promoting fast fashion, just uninspiring, a lack of originality, preaching about being productive in the middle of a pandemic. And I think people are starting to switch off from it,
I,
which
I
is
think I think any self-respecting young person like your good self and your readers would surely be rather insulted by the idea that these companies seem to believe that if you get James Locke or Gemma Collins in the sunshine in Dubai wearing their products or plugging their products, that you will automatically go and buy them. That's insulting, isn't it?
I think so. I think, consumers now, especially young consumers that they're trying to pitch to, they don't like to be lied to. We want the truth, and we want people that are like us, that are stuck at home. But then I think then that means that then people that are promoting tracksuits, say, they might get more sales. And you've got to kind of think where your market is. And going to Dubai, people don't want that. People are stuck at home in their rooms watching TV all day. We can't sell it. Why are you selling a bikini? No one's buying a bikini right now.
It is strange. What did you think of James Locke, who said Priti Patel's whipping up hatred against influencers?
Well, I think for influencers, unfortunately, they are always receiving hate. Her comments might have stirred up some more, but unfortunately, he can't place the blame entirely on her, because that is a side effect of being an influencer effectively, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but he can't just pin the blame on her for inciting that hate.
With regard to that poll you were talking about, do you feel that the era of influencers may be on the wane, and that in fact, in the not too distant future, these people may not be able to earn a living by going to Dubai, taking a picture of their toned bodies and saying, buy these swimming trunks?
I think it could happen slowly, but the thing is, like, people like Molly-Mae, who has over 5 million followers, who went to Dubai before Christmas, she still has all her followers. Every day she gets such lovely comments being like, oh my God, you look amazing in this outfit. I don't, it might change from being selling bikinis in Dubai, but then people start to sell activism, and the change, influencers are always going to be around. I think it's just what they're promoting and selling
Sorry,
will
who was that?
change.
Who was that one you just mentioned? The one with 5 million followers? Who's that?
Molly-Mae Hague, so she was in Love Island in 2019.
Was she? And so she's got 5 million followers,
Mm-hmm.
and so as soon as she posts a picture of herself in a bikini on the beach, all these people get in touch with her and say, "You look amazing."
Yeah, and she can charge about 10 grand per post. So in two posts, she's made someone's salary for the year.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
10,000 quid for a picture?
yeah,
So
like such easy money. But
yeah, God, so some of these people are probably making what, millions? I would have thought.
so yeah, most of them at least have about 2 million. They'll get deals, six-figure deals to promote fast fashion that, is not necessarily sustainable, not been made in the best way, but yeah, they promote it and they sell it to their young followers that are impressionable.
I've just actually, my producers just put up a couple of pictures of Molly-Mae, is it? Uh,
Hmm.
she's wading through a azure sea, looking sultry in a sort of greeny bikini, and then sort of lushing her hair back. So she could make 20,000 quid for these two pictures.
Hmm.
Dear oh me. What is the point? So you write for students and that. What's the point of going to university when all you got to do is go on Love Island and then you can make 20 grand a picture?
I mean, that is a very good point. But I think for lots of our students, they do see the dishonesty in it. They don't want to see it anymore. They've had enough. They've switched off. But then they then still just move to other kind of influencers that are promoting activism, or they like Dr. Alex from Love Island, who is obviously now a mental health ambassador. So I think that they are always going to be around.
Yeah. Well, you see, Dr. Alex, yeah, I watched that series, the one that Dr. Alex was in, because I was a TV critic in those days, so I had to. And, you know, put it this way, it's a perfectly nice chap and all that, but I don't think he'd get a senior job to do with mental health from the government had he not been on Love Island. So I guess even ministers of the realm are just as susceptible to the influence of influencers as the rest of us.
I mean, I think, yeah, obviously he does, and he said this himself, he doesn't have the qualifications to do it. However, he lost his brother to suicide last year. He doesn't want to be in this position, he said, and yet he you know, he'd rather have his brother back than having to be dealing with this.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't knock Alex at all for the role that he's taken on. Good for him. And as you say, he's experienced personal tragedy himself, so in some ways he's very qualified to do the job. But it is strange the way, shall we say, a kind of run-of-the-mill medical student, or a doctor now, junior doctor, gets on the telly and becomes a government appointee, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it does say something about our culture that I don't think this would have happened 20 years ago, that, you know, someone on the telly would be in charge of like the mental health of our young people.
Yeah. Well, I hope that the age of the influencers does come to an end and they stop making so much money, because I don't think that's fair to other young people. It's sort of wrong and warped. Tell me this, Lydia, how you write for a student news site. How are students taking the situation right now? Because I have young friends, young relatives who they're basically, you know, a couple of kids who went up to university last year. They're having their university life ruined. I mean, they're not even getting to university. Some of them are going up to wherever they are and just sort of going into digs and watching lectures by Zoom, but not actually going into the university. Others are not even going there. The student population of this country must be dismayed by what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, they're very upset, obviously. I mean, no one's enjoying this time. You know, I think they've also felt quite ignored by the government. The only time they've been like mentioned in like national press is to be, you know, attacked for having parties, say, which I don't agree with. But, you know, they haven't, the majority of them are stuck at home, learning, feeling isolated. We ran a story today where a fresher had only met 5 people in his first term of university. And that's just not the experience that any of them should want. It's so isolating and just a horrible time for them all.
And also, universities are still trying to charge full whack, aren't they, for attending their colleges, even though kids aren't really attending them. And I know that a lot of students are very upset about that, and so are their parents.
Yeah, I mean, and their accommodation as well. It's just, there's been no support for them, and they are really struggling. And I don't know what we're going to do to help them, but they just need support.
Tell me a little bit about the Tab. How many people work there?
At the moment, so we have about 9 of us in head office, and we have a team of students that write for us, getting stories on the ground from their universities, but also like pitching in for national stories as well.
And so you're a staff reporter there, yeah? That's a good job, yeah?
Yes, it's a lovely job. I love my job.
Excellent. Well, you're doing great work there. Thank you for filling us in about influencers, so influenzas. And now I know, what's her name? Molly-Mae
Hague.
Molly-Mae Hague from Love Island 2019. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Consider myself influenced by Molly-Mae Hague. Thank you very much, Lydia. Thank you for your time, Lydia.